Alright folks, Vitek here from Wani, and with us today we have one and only axeman, Mr. Gus G of Firewind. How you doing, brother?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Man, Immortals, next month, all set to start next year for folks out there who've been waiting for it for 5 long years. I'm sure you guys must be super stoked.
Yeah, we're very excited about it. Like you said, it's been almost 5 years since the last record, and we feel really good about this new album, so we hope fans are going to enjoy it.
Definitely, and you have already unleashed 2 tracks in Hands of Time and Ode to Leonidas. So how has been the response so far from the Firewind fans?
It's been really good. Really positive feedback. People are really digging both of these tracks so far. We're happy. Very happy.
That's really good, because not only is this the album that people have been waiting for over 5 years, but this is also your first very concept album which revolves around your roots. It looks like that, you guys probably might have been thinking about doing this concept thing for a while, but maybe the stars were not aligning until the plans of doing Immortals were conceived.
We're focusing on the battles of Salamis and the battles of Thermopylae in 480 BC, but like you said, it was something that we've talked about for years. It's not something new between us, the members, but sometimes you just have to have the right timing for these things, for such projects. It takes a while, and everybody has to be ready, and it has to be the right time, the right kind of material, and all those things.
Absolutely, and it's blood pumping topic, isn't it? I mean, you got death, glory, blood, all the hallmarks, all the hallmarks of a chest beating, more like a pride-inducing battle cry. I mean, Immortal has it all wrapped up in a signature Firewind brand of power metal. So when you look back at the catalog of your, the history, where do you think that Immortals fit?
I definitely think it's one of our top 3 records for sure. I would put it up there. What should I say? I think this is definitely one of our best ones. But time will tell, really.
Indeed, time will tell, but I've heard the record and it's been on a loop for a long time now. And the thing about this record in general is not only is it on the grand epic scale, which Firewind is known for, but at the same time, you guys have also, tried to kind of experiment a bit here and there. And obviously you went out of your comfort zone by having a co-producer on this record, which is your good friend Dennis, and who is also engineered and also written a few songs with you. So this sort of having a co-producer for the first time is something which might have been sort of a risky for the band, but you guys just wanted to go for it and see how it shapes up.
Yes, on one hand, yeah, it is like that. On the other hand, it was more like the way that I saw it. It would be more like a safety net to have somebody who's really talented, obviously, and very capable, and not only like a good guy who's an engineer and mixer, but a good songwriter. Because I always have somebody co-writing with me on the record. Usually it was me and the singer before. And even on my solo albums, I co-write with different people. So, normally I'm the guy that comes up with all the music and I do the arrangements and all that stuff. Right. And maybe I'll co-write with Bob a little bit. But mainly I'm responsible for the music. And then usually we'll have a singer come up with melodies and lyrics. And this time with Dennis, we go way back when we started in 2009 a project that we never completed. And we had some songs on the shelf, really. And it sounded very epic, very power metal, and it sounded very Firewind, to be honest. And I revisited those ideas. I'm like, why didn't we ever use that stuff? Cool. So I hit him up. I'm like, man, maybe we should try to finish this up. And then Dennis is a really good singer as well. Maybe people don't know that. But
I love his stuff with Unisonic.
Yes, he plays bass there and writes most of the stuff, but But he's a really good singer as well. So he did all the demos. He would send me back vocal lines and ideas. And then I told him that, about the concept album that we wanted to do with the guys. So, and none of us in the band really knew how to make a concept record, to be honest with you. Because that was like a first for us. And So me and him sat down basically, and then I would send him the ideas, the musical ideas, and then give him some thoughts on the concept, and then he would put it down. He would put pen to paper, and then write the lyrics, and then send me demos back. And it was really easy to just have just basically me and him involved, and then do the whole thing together. It was very smooth.
Awesome. I want to talk about this track, the brave, defiant member of the 300, that is the majestic ode to Leonidas. Now, this track is extremely strong, very well written. And what stands out is that intro, where you have the final line, like, come and take it. It kind of rouses such a sense of pride and fearlessness for battle. It kind of made me feel like, what we say here, like, you want some, well, come get some.
It's actually it's a historical line that Leonidas actually said that to. That was his response to the messenger. Mm-hmm. That when they asked the Greeks to surrender, the Persians, he said to them, and we actually include that ancient Greek word in ancient Greek, which he said, molon lave, and that means come and take it.
Right.
So because this is such a very famous line, so to speak, I said to Dennis, man, we should include that. I think that's going to be really cool. And it just happened that I had this intro on this track, Ode to Leonidas, because we were thinking originally of cutting out that acoustic intro, and then I said, well, maybe we can keep it, but instead of having singing on it, we should have some guy do some sort of narration, kind of like Orson Welles used to do on those early Manowar records, or Christopher Lee did, or something like that, And then he said, "Don't worry, I got the guy for that. I just got the right guy." And he knew a guy who does a lot of voiceovers for stuff like that. So we were looking for a Gandalf type of voice, but still be very,
And the voice is really thick out there. I mean, it just goes well with the intro, and then with the thick tone, how it ends into a song is absolutely mesmerizing.
Cool, thank you, man.
Man, I want to talk about this, the songs like Hands of Time or We Defy, Live and Die by the Sword. You have this gloriously euphoric choruses, and I got to give it to Henning, for having that ability to soar and inspire the moment he takes the mic. And with so many vocalists change over the years, Henning has to prove himself to the fans. And right after I heard the record, there was no doubt at all.
Oh yeah, man! It's like I think he sings like his life depends on it on this record. He really did a great job. He's a great performer. We knew that already because we have experience with him live.
Right.
But of course, I've heard him on these past records with Metallium and stuff. But I said to him, I think your perform, and I've heard you on your previous records. I think this is the best album you ever done performing wise, and I think this is his finest moment.
Absolutely,
I believe that.
Absolutely. When you look back at so many vocalist change, for you as a main songwriter, does it sort of a worry that you're writing some of the most epic and really great, guitar riffs and all these different structures and arrangements you do, and then you have someone singing over it? Does it sort of a worry you that, okay, with so many vocals change, does it kind of, inspire you to write something more heavier so that, the guy who's going to sing on it leaves his mark? Or, what goes on in your mind with every vocalist coming in?
I don't know. It depends. For me, it's always about a better idea is a better idea. I think more in terms like that. What's the best idea for this? Right. Not really whose voice it's going to be. Of course, the singer is a very important part. It's the identity that people immediately hear when they hear a song. Mm-hmm. But you need to have the song there first and foremost. With Henning, I was the guy who didn't worry about at all because I know what he's able of doing, what he's capable of doing, and I know he has ever has any problems with tonalities, different pitch and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think he was more concerned. But when we were making the demos, we sent it to him and we made sure that he could sing all that stuff and he would have no issues and all that. Mm-hmm. And we made sure that he felt like he could make this his own. And I mean, in my mind, there was never any doubt that he wouldn't own this. But then, of course, he worked together with Dennis Ward in the studio, so I wanted them to get together and work together because Dennis is a really good vocal coach as well, and Henning is a vocal coach too because he teaches vocals. But they got along great. And I mean, you hear the result. It's there.
Absolutely, man. They're really good to hear. And coming to your riffs, I mean, there's nothing anyone can say about it because you've got these epic songs in there, the great instrumentation sections, and obviously there's a lot of orchestral sections as well, which you have worked with the keyboardist. So for you personally, what was the most important, or let me say, the most challenging part of writing this record?
The most challenging part was for me, it was just all about the material. So I said that I would never make another Firewind record unless I felt the material was really, really strong, and it had to live up to whatever we've done in the past. Right. It had to be right up there with all that stuff. So I didn't hurry to make this record. I just piled up the idea. I mean, these ideas that you're hearing they've been piling up from, like I said, from the demos that we did with Dennis in 2009. Some of the stuff was written 3 years ago, 2 years ago. So it's like a compilation of my best, so to speak, like epic and power metal ideas over the years. And I just put it together, and then when I finally saw that I have 5 or 6 really good ideas here, now we can start talking about getting back together with the guys and doing another record.
Good stuff, man. That's really good. I'm sure fans are going to love it. Now, you're going to put your solo project on hold because the touring will start. So is there anything you have planned with respect to your solo records or something?
I have a few sporadic shows here and there. In fact, I have a tour in Japan coming up in March. So I'm going to Japan for 2 shows, and then in South Korea for 1 show. And that'll be it, more or less. Like you said, then it's the album comes out in January, so we have the tour in Europe with the guys, and then we have festivals in the summer. But I'm actually writing some new ideas for my next solo record as we speak. So I'm always working on ideas here in my studio, anyways.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. And Scream was the last record which Ozzy did, and I guess he's also working on a new record. So would you be part of that?
I should hope so. I haven't heard any, any news regarding when we're going to be doing this, because I think he's still on tour with Sabbath,
right.
And I know he's been hinting it a little bit to the press that he wants to do another solo record, but who knows when that will be? I think that's more of a question that for him instead of me.
But would you be able to find time for that? Because obviously you would have a very strong schedule with the festivals and the European tour and so on for almost like next 7 to 8 months.
Hey man, if the Osman calls, you have to make time. You have to be you have to be stupid not to make time.
Not to make time, exactly. Yeah. That's very well said, dude. Now obviously the touring, we already discussed about that. So if you had to sum up Immortals in a sentence, what would you say?
I would say it's epic for sure.
It's epic for sure, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can only say that once you guys go on tour, that all these spits out there should prepare for some rousing battles when you guys roll into the venue. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, man, it's definitely going to be a good time. We're looking forward to bringing the new songs, playing them live, basically. We really can't wait to see how they go down live and what the reaction is.
That would be wonderful, dude. Thanks a lot, man. It's the first time I'm having a chat with you. It's been great. I look forward to see you guys on road, and good luck with the release, man. I'm sure this one is going to kick ass.
Thanks so much, my friend. Thanks for the interview.
Take care of yourself. Bye.
All the best. Bye-bye.